A very warm welcome back to the PGL Major in Kraków. It's our 2017 second major of the year, the 11th major in history, and today is the day where we find out the men from the boys. Who's going through to the quarterfinals? Three of those teams have already arrived at their destination, while some have already left the station the other way. They are removed from the major. But we are still in our 2-1s right now, right in the middle of those. Before we get into our next matchup, brilliant matchup between North and Virtus.pro. Why don't we check in with Pala? This time around, he was talking to Neo about the legendary team that have seemingly stayed together forever.
Hello everybody and welcome to On the Bench. I am currently sat beside Neo from VP. Neo, how is it going?
It's going great so far. Hi, by the way.
We are calling this On the Bench. But something so special about this team is that you guys haven't put anybody on the bench for so long. How long exactly have you guys been playing together? Even from the initial stage, because I think it was originally you and Taz from way back when you were kids. There's a famous picture online. To now where you guys have, I think you're still the longest running team in your current roster.
Yeah, actually with like a month ago, we've been counting how long we've been playing together with that lineup. And we found out this is the longest lineup we've ever had. Like the original Golden Five that was created in 2006. We've been playing together for like 3.5 years, and now it's already 4. So yeah, we've never been that together for that long. And I've been playing with Taz since 2004, and that's just crazy. Pasha joined us in 2010, so we're like family.
How many majors have you been to so far?
I haven't been counting, but a lot. I think we've missed one major, and then we've had the legend status on all of them, I think.
Yeah, and going on from that, now that you've done so many and you've competed at so many large-scale tournaments, and being the team that you guys are, who've been together for so long, can it get repetitive? Can you sometimes not be as well prepared? Or is it the other side of things where you're still as motivated as ever?
Probably there's a lot of different stages we're going through. There's been sometimes, of course, we haven't been perfectly prepared, or sometimes...
We've got a little guest. I heard him sneaking up there. We don't have any nuts,
Squirrels.
I'm afraid.
No.
All right, and he's off.
All right, yeah.
And how long, like how far do you think you guys can go from here? Like the amount of time that you guys have already competed and spent together is one of the highest in the whole scene. Like how much longer do you see yourself playing?
Well, since like almost 10 years, I've been saying like it's last 3 years. And it's like repeatedly coming back, and I just stopped thinking about when is the end. I just enjoy the moment, and then I'm just being happy that I'm still here.
So Snacks is getting to play here in his hometown. You're from Poznan, correct?
Yeah.
And so what's it like for you these days when you go home? Do you get recognized? Like how is it just generally when you're back home?
It has changed a lot. People our age got their kids play games, and their parents still play, or dads, or whatever. So there's more and more people being into esports, and then right now it's like, yeah, whenever I go out, there's someone who recognizes me. So it's really fun. It's not that much, but it's still there, and then it's funny to me. It's like, you know, playing games and then becoming famous in some way, so it's really fun.
Neo, I'd like to leave any final words with you, if you'd like to say anything to all the people watching, all your fans.
Well, we've been struggling, everyone knows that, and then I would just like to thank everyone that's been still here with us until now, and still supporting and believing that we can come back stronger.
Thank you so much, Neo, for your time. Everybody, this has been On the Bench, but I hope that you stay off it for many, many years to come.
Thanks.
Yes, great interview with Neo, one of the most experienced players in CS history. He's also underselling himself because he actually has been to every single major so far. He's in his 11th consecutive major, 10th with Virtus.pro. It's just been an incredible ride, hasn't it? Particularly he and Taz from all that while ago, from 2000, it's 13 years playing in the same teams together, and Pasha for the last 7 years, and then the other two for the last 4. I mean, it's just a model of consistency.
When just quickly, just so people can get a scope of this, when Taz and Neo started playing together, Yanko was 12.
That's amazing. It's true. That is truly amazing. I love that.
And now I'm here talking about them.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Neo especially, specific situation, because in 1.6 it was always the discussion between him and Forrest who's the greatest player
of all time.
Of all time. Yeah. And now in CSGO, especially for newer fans, he looks like just who's this guy, just fills the role, a support player, nothing too fancy about him, but actually one of the greatest minds there is when it comes to Counter-Strike, without a doubt. And
I would imagine that there's a future for him once he's finished playing as well, in analyst maybe, or commentator, or coach, or something. We can't lose minds like that from Counter-Strike, can we?
No, definitely they'll be around. And I think the thing that stood out the most from that little segment for me was the way they said, we're like family.
Yeah.
And you can look at your SKs and you can say they kind of have the family vibe, but nobody has the family vibe like Virtus.pro. No one sticks around in the same roster for 4 years through thick and thin, through all the adversity, and they get through it, and they're still friends. This is a job at the end of the day, and they could have made roster changes when times got tough, but they have stuck together, and they seem to make it work time and time again. And coming into this event, a lot of doubt. There was that big cloud over them, and they've started strong. And that was the caveat I think with this team. This is where they always show up.
Yep.
We've been saying for a long time they're the big stage players. You don't get a bigger stage than a major in your home country.
Trouble is, of course, there'll be a Reddit thread after this if they don't get to the grand final, that they're going to be making changes.
Probably 10 Reddit threads.
There'll be plenty of that speculation, won't there?
Yeah, I mean, even Pasha said in an interview after ESL 1 Cologne, saying like, this is the most difficult period we've ever had. If we survive this, it's going to be a miracle. So obviously, even for a team as tenured and as stable as VP, there is only so much you can take. But they look much improved in this tournament, played at a much better level as a team and individually. So I would still expect them to make it into the playoffs.
Yeah, and let's not get too carried away. They're on the verge of getting to that playoffs. They don't have to win one more game, and they go head-to-head with a North team who, in some ways, I feel like they're a little bit similar. They've had a bit of a stumble here, but then they've picked themselves back up and they've got back on the horse and they've got back into playing again.
Yeah, it's a really weird thing, when we have these kind of discussions and we say, like North aren't living up to their potential. Where do you think this team's potential is? That's the real question. I think they're a top 5 team, and they definitely show that they can be, and maybe they even are still a top 5 team at the moment. So they're par for the course in my world, and their potential is a little bit higher when you see Config and Magic's Boy playing together at their highest scale. But we haven't seen them there in a while, and that's kind of the biggest issue for this team, I think, is they don't both show up when they need to.
I think the problem for North is because of the failings that they've had. Yeah, sure, they would make a deep run at the tournament, but they would always lose to an underdog, right? They were the favorites in the playoffs matchups that they've lost in the beginning of the year, and because of that, it feels like they've been trying to change too much. Like they've been struggling to pinpoint what the actual problem for them is, and they've been switching around things so much that even Magis now has a serious dip in performance to what we are used to seeing from him at the moment. It seems like Config is the driving force of this team, and then whoever is the second guy or the second and third guy to help him out.
In terms of the big names that need to step up in this game, where do you want to see the firepower coming from on both sides?
Well, obviously Config, he's always going to show up, right? He's this guy that goes out to these like 20 frags in 7 or 8 rounds, and it's unparalleled, really. You don't see anybody else doing that. He's the main one. We were just mentioning Magic as well, but if you want to look on the other side of things, for me, and obviously he's been embattled, and when he joined the team, I thought he was going to be a good addition, is AZ. We want to see AZ actually getting some work done, because I think, he should be better at being a role player from his time in FaZe. He knows he couldn't have all the limelight as a star, so here I want to see him have a good impact, a big impact. And on the other side, I think I want to see Taz have a good game. Yeah.
Okay.
No reason.
Okay. Just because Taz is a good guy.
Yeah.
I think he might be a very important player in this matchup, because the big question is going to be whether North is comfortable playing Nuke against Virtus.pro, and if Nuke is indeed the map that's going to be played, Taz playing the upper bomb site, anchoring it, is going to have to do a lot of work potentially, and needs to be on top of his game. And that's one of those positions where you kinda, it's a synonym for Taz, playing upper bomb sites and hot on Nuke, playing B on train. That's where that he's just played that position for like 15 years at this point, you know, knows how to approach every single situation pretty much. So that's a map and a position where he can always deliver a good performance.
I remember a couple of tournaments ago now, I can't remember who said it, but someone on the panel said, "You're always surprised when Taz is surprised." Which I think is perfect for him, because he shouldn't get surprised, because he's pretty much played every pixel of every map that we've ever had in CS. You can see there, North getting ready. We're going to head towards those inevitable vetoes fairly shortly. Sponge, what are your thoughts on map choice here? Janko's already alluded to the fact that if they end up on train, that might be a bit tricky.
Nuke, yeah. Nuke is the one where I think it could be tricky for North in the sense of VP are kind of... It's not that they're unstoppable on this map, but they always seem to have really good performances against Danish teams on this map. Astralis comes to mind, getting absolutely dropped out time and time again. I think, you know, the thing is we're vetoing down to 1, so it could be middle of the pool, you know, which is the general consensus in most times. We've seen a lot of curveballs this tournament so far, but I was just writing them down, trying to nut it out quickly where I think it could end up. If we go to like a Cobble or something like that, I don't know how I would feel for VP based off recent Cobble performances. I think North, you know, not that they have anything fantastic, I just think they have decent fundamentals on that map. I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it.
I think North has the advantage in this veto because the only thing they have to ban is train, and then they can pretty much pick around the other maps. I feel that for VP here, they're going to have to get rid of Cash Inferno pretty much, and I would expect them to veto Overpass here because it's a map that has fallen out of favor for VP, even though they've had good results even against North at that E-League major they had. I mean, convincing 16-4 win. I still feel like maybe that's the map they want to avoid, and in that situation we're left with Cobblestone, Nuke,
Mirage,
and Mirage. Yeah, and I feel that out of those maps, I don't think North is willing to play Cobblestone against VP because it's been
before, yeah.
Yeah, and because they've had that very close game against Mousesports, maybe their confidence is a little bit shaken. So
I mean, they did beat them at Katowice earlier the year on Cobble.
Yeah, that was, I mean, also a close game, but it's very difficult to look at head-to-head when it comes to VP because they've been in a very bad form for a very long time. So the one thing that VP might do is maybe veto Mirage themselves instead of Overpass, but I think that North probably would want to take this to Nuke.
It's interesting, actually, looking back at their history between these two, as far back as even when they were Dignitas, and I know there's been a change of lineup a little bit in there as well, but they've got a good record against Virtus.pro. They seem to come up against them at the right time, almost when they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. I remember back at Epicenter last year was the perfect time in many ways for Virtus.pro because we had that weird shuffle through August and teams were up and down, and Virtus.pro were the only ones that stayed the same, and then they weren't in the best of form at that particular tournament, and yet the day after that they went on a 3-tournament winning spree. So North got them just at the right time before they were about to peak.
This is the weird thing with VP, right? You know, my mum always used to say change is as good as a holiday.
Yeah.
But they're happy not to change. So if they're going to keep doing this, the thing, you know, if we talk about what's happened to VP over the last couple of months, is the fact that when they hit their low point and then they started to, you know, bounce back, and they were putting in a lot of time. And the thing which I think was very interesting is their approach was to come up with a lot of strats and to, you know, basically remaster themselves again, you know, version 600, I don't know what we're up to now of this VP lineup, but that's there, you know, and all they need to do is have the confidence to play and let their players go for the frags, and not let their players because they all know what they should and shouldn't be able to do. Sure. They're at a point right now where everyone understands how to play Counter-Strike within this system. It's about having the confidence to go for your kills, and when you're up against a team like North who have very confident players, that's where you need to, you know, make sure you're taking it to them, because you've seen the banter back and forth between Config and Taz on Twitter. It's obviously very light-hearted, right? They're just taking the mickey a little bit. But these little mind games that might play into things, I think it might be fun to see. Yeah.
You don't think they might have anything left over, a hangover from E-League memories that cost them so dearly?
I mean, that Cobblestone game was just a nightmare for North not being able to win rounds on the T side, which is like their probably even better side. So we see that they go with their train ban to start things off. That's pretty straightforward, and
that was
actually they get rid of Nuke themselves, so don't want to play that at all. And with that being out of the picture, you feel like it's going to come down to Mirage Overpass.
Here's the question, though, because VP can leave Keishin until the end, right? Because they did play it against Fnatic and they won that game. No, never mind. I'll shut up with that train of thought.
Trust them, eh? Trust them. Oh, wow.
Inferno's still in the pool.
So it's Inferno
Mirage.
And Mirage.
Yeah.
So the fact they haven't clicked straight away means that they weren't expecting one of the two. That's just I'm reading lips, right? Yeah. I can speak Danish and read lips.
Okay.
And what they're saying right now, Paul, is, well, they left this map in the pool and we weren't expecting it, and we think we're better than practice, so we might pick it. Thank you for that. Wow. My ears just got blown out a little bit. We're all good.
We're all good. We're all good. Right, so they're waiting to pick this final map between Mirage and Inferno. They have played an Inferno game as recently as May back in ESL Pro League, but it was online, which I always take with a pinch of salt when it comes to Virtus.pro.
I would go with Inferno because I think you have a better chance of stifling VP's executes on Inferno than you do Mirage. I think they might have more room to maneuver, which on the same hand, you have Config, who I think is like a really good Mirage player. I think on his CT side, he's all over the place finding a lot of frags, and they've kind of remodeled their Mirage CT recently. They've moved MSL over to the A bomb site, I believe, and Magic's Boy is now playing towards B. So things have changed with North recently.
This has caused a lot of consternation in this team.
I think the problem is also the fact that they pick the map, VP picks the side. So maybe they're thinking, okay, maybe we want to play Inferno, but we want to start on the T side. We have a strong CT side. You know, the other side of things, you don't know what VP is going to pick in terms of side. They might as well pick to start on the T side just to have to dictate the tempo.
They've gone with Mirage, which they haven't played since Epicenter last year against each other. So we'll see an awful lot of new things between the two teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's a map that North has already played twice in the tournament, right? So VP could scout this, and then it has things that they can look out for. VP hasn't played either Inferno or Mirage, and sure, Mirage is one of the historically great maps for VP in the past year and a half or so, Mirage and Cobblestone, right? But like on every other map, it hasn't been that great for them. Recently, they got trashed by Astralis in the Clash for Cash. They had a big loss against SK as well. I mean, those are probably the world's best teams on the map as well. So for VP in those situations, it was about their execution towards the very end. They were still doing good things, but their timings were a little bit off and they couldn't get the kills. If they can turn that around, they're still a very, very scary Mirage team.
All right, thank you very much, both of you. We'll get more thoughts from Sponge and Yanko at the end of this match. But let's get it on. The two teams are ready, so let's head over to our commentators for the game. It's going to be an absolute barn burner, as they say.
I'm glad that I don't own a barn, because I don't really want to have to file for fire insurance and theft and all, insurance
it's not
things.
ideal.
No, it's not. But I will say this is a great matchup in terms of exactly what they talked about. Quarterfinal in the last major, Magisk, probably the best half we've ever seen.
Yeah.
In a major itself, and then, that's right, got defeated, dropped down, and ended up losing that match and getting knocked out. But they kept their legendary spot, obviously. That's why they're here. Sure. They want to keep it again. They want to win and go straight back through to the playoffs. But Virtus.pro definitely want that in front of the home crowd.
I'm interested Mirage came out, I have to be honest. I thought Inferno would be a great pick for North. It's a map they're comfortable on. We don't really see Virtus.pro play it that often. They've already shown himself, North, that is, to play Mirage twice in this tournament. So a lot of information out there as to how they're currently playing it. I think Inferno would be a nice kind of wild card pick. They've had some up and down results in it. I think they lost to FaZe 16-7 recently. So I guess they wanted to make sure there's a map they're currently comfortable on. Virtus.pro, a bit of a turnaround at this event, especially. Vegas Squadron beat them 16-2 and took down Fnatic as well, a bit of an upset, I would say. Beat them 16-11 on Cash, lost to Gambit on Train. But Mirage, definitely another map that historically Virtus.pro are famously very, very good on. Probably up there with their very best at one point. So we'll see if they can step up today. They did play against Gambit on Train, another arguably very good map for them, losing that 16-11, granting Gambit access to the playoffs, which was great for them. A bit of a wild card pick, I guess. In terms of, we'd probably expect them to make top 8 eventually, but not a 3-0 team. I don't think anyone had them there. Same story for Big in that respect. But this should be a great game. I agree with Paul. This should be a bit of a barn burner, perhaps. And we'll see who decides to turn up. We've been following this North journey for quite a while now. I'd say it's been a pretty lackluster project overall. Obviously, winning Epicenter in the last stages of last year, we thought, great, this is perfect foundations now going forward. They've got all they need to make this a world-class team. And Chad even said it. They do have the potential to be top 5. They have the firepower there, and the roles seem set. It seems like it should be working. We've got superstars like Magisk and Config as well.
Yes.
You think that'd be enough? Cajun B, solid AWPer. Maybe not the very best, but he's decent. A safe set of hands to get those opening picks and can have those big games from time to time. It seems like it's a nice little package, but for me, I haven't got super excited about them yet. But let's see what they can do as we get deeper into this major. This is a 2-1 game. Whoever wins this, of course, will be in the playoff, and whoever does not has to go to the 5th round, the 2-2 scary section of the tournament.
Yeah, very scary section of the tournament. We're starting to get that picture painted for us. I agree with all of that. I think that North definitely has the capability, but is slightly underwhelming as of late. Obviously, Epicenter was incredible. The fact that they were able to beat
this team.
Yeah, this team in the final, Virtus.pro in the final, and take the whole event was shocking at the time. And then we thought, okay, well, yes, okay, they've been improving for a while. They're on to something. This is their arrival, and then it's been the opposite.
That's kind of an interesting note as well. The last time they played Mirage was the grand final of that event, and they won 16-5. So obviously different times. Can't take too much away from that. It's a long time ago, but still, I guess that's why they have confidence. They know they can beat Virtus.pro on that particular map. Cobblestone has always been a bit of a rough ride for them. They did beat them at Katowice on it, but obviously you referenced it, the E-League Major as well. That crushing defeat with one of the best major performances we've ever seen in a single half of majors. Wasn't quite enough to win the game. You saw how gutting that was. And it's just nice to note that, considering that was the previous major. North, like he said, making the playoffs last time, looking to replicate that. Virtus.pro, it seems like they're always destined to do that very task, make it to the playoffs. Another team that seems to do it every single time. Team huddles, not so much a huddle there, but a conversation perhaps for Virtus.pro, just chatting. Working out what the game plan is here. Have you been impressed with their performances so far? Surely it's got to be better than what we're used to seeing the last few months.
It's definitely been better. There's no question about that. It's been on the rise. I think. It's hard to say. They go out in groups. Again, at Cologne, they show some signs of life and creativity.
Yes.
It definitely shows that they've been working on things and actually putting the effort in, which is something that I was critical of and questioning during the Pro League season. So. Hopefully, yeah. I mean, great. I want them in the playoffs for this event. I want them in front of their home crowd. In some ways, if they won this, it would almost be counterproductive to the argument that they haven't been performing, because everyone will say, "Well, Virtus.pro, it's a major. They show up again." But you know, if they do it on merit, then good. It's good to have them back. They're a team that deserves to be at the top, and we love to see up there.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see what they can do. It looks like we'll be getting into this game momentarily. The map indeed will be Mirage. Quite a good one, I think. Both teams very well versed on that particular map, and I'm sure it's going to be a close game. This could definitely has potential to go to overtime. I'm saying it's going to be like a 16-14. I will slightly favour North. That's if AZ can turn up. He's always been a big name for me to talk about with this team. Seems to have up and down. Some games he can be very good indeed, but most of the time pretty average. Considering the kind of hype he had around him, maybe in 2015, you thought like this guy's going to be a superstar one day. He's going to be one of the big names of CS:GO. Definitely around as a decent player, but if anyone was going to go from this team right now, it'd probably be him, you have to say. Everyone else seems quite established within the team, and AZ hasn't really been setting the world on fire ever since he joined. Obviously, a lot of speculation as to where particular players may be going in the Danish scene. But everyone's getting on the server right now. That's not on just yet. Having a look at the roles for Virtus.pro as well. They've like you said, they've been creative recently. They've had a lot of time to boot camp and work on the strategies and the particular roles within the team. I think that's sentiment of most teams coming into this tournament, saying they've had to adjust things and try to keep up with the current meta. But in terms of the AWPers, especially on this map, we have seen Pasha still as the main AWPer, but Neo chiming in as well.
They did swap it for a while, where Snags picked it up, and then they went back to Pasha.
Neo's been the main AWPer for this team as well, though. Like there was a spell of maybe like 3 or 4 months where he was the main AWPer. He was very solid in terms of like it was nothing flashy at all. Like he just held anchor positions on bomb sites, so just get 1, maybe 2 frags if you're lucky, and it'd just be like a nice solid play. They wouldn't give too much away. Snack's definitely the complete polar opposite of that. Very aggressive, up in your face, AWPing, and very exciting, but maybe not consistent in the sense it's not going to win you games or win you particular rounds, sure, but you can't rely on that. It's his bigger picture sort of role.
Absolutely. To the point as well, Virtus.pro, they would be legends in every single major.
Yeah.
Until now, if they don't succeed in making it through. They don't necessarily have to by beating North. Remember, they'll drop down to the 2-2 bracket, but still.
Astralis just did that now. They got 11 out of 11 majors, just made playoffs.
Wow.
So they've pulled that off. It's quite impressive.
That is very impressive.
It's crazy to think that there's some of those guys who are still like 22.
Yeah, that's it.
That.
That's something that without... Yeah, it wouldn't be on the top of my mind to just assume that's true, even though, yeah, it definitely is. But that's pretty impressive in itself.
That's the core of Device, Zipex, Dupree.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts. But looks like we're ready to get into this one, ladies and gentlemen.
They were even way back in CS:GO before the majors. They were part of a Fnatic lineup.
Yeah,
for a time.
Right.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy when you actually look back at who was where in rosters and where they are now, if that makes sense. Remember, SK used to have Heroic essentially as their lineup. before they picked up the Brazilians.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? But in reality, that was what, maybe a year and a half, maybe less. I think it was the 1 year anniversary of SK recently, wasn't it? Since they joined.
The Brazilians, yes,
Yeah.
but I think the other team was dropped sooner than they were picked up. Or were they? I don't
so
remember. Yeah, it was Maudie, Asilian,
Yeah,
Freese,
about a year
those
and a half
guys.
ago.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, it's a crazy landscape. We're currently working. Chops and changes all over the place. But everyone's sat down now, headsets are on. And looks like we'll have a CT start for Virtus.pro here. Arguably the favourite side. It depends on the matchup and who feels more comfortable on what side. But generally, you'll go for a CT side if you did win a knife.
Just to go full circle as well, Magisk was actually on that SK lineup for a period of time, and we were shocked and stunned when we were casting a frag bite event at how good he was on a particular game on Overpass. That was kind of the first time he came onto my radar. And then he's certainly developed since. Just about ready. Cuban puts his headset on.
I always ask you, Matt, prediction, who do you think's got the upper hand here?
I don't know. This is a weird one. Both teams are struggling to find form. They've shown signs of life in this event. I think Virtus.pro. I think they're actually looking more invigorated than they have in the past.
I'll go with North. I feel like they've got a higher skill ceiling right now. Virtus.pro, I haven't caught all the games at this event, but it has looked much better. We caught the one versus Vegas Squadron. A little bit lackluster there, but we'll see whether they can turn up today. Looking to get to playoff for the major. That would certainly be a turnaround from what we've seen this year, especially. But looks like we're getting ready to go live. Admin just called for the vote. I've got to tap that F1 and say yes. We had a bit of a trouble with that yesterday. The unbinds coming in and some
That's true. Yeah,
auto
that's
buys.
right.
But hopefully that won't be plaguing us any longer.
Yeah, that was Neo last time, just for the record, that had that particular issue. Bought a Galil, and we went into a timeout to get it fixed, and then during the timeout, we couldn't vote on resetting the round.
Hadn't had F1
That's
down.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Keep voting no. We just sat there, went in circles.
it was fun.
It was a great time. I'll remember it. I'll cherish that memory.
Just to talk about the pistol round coming in as well, I've probably got some time to give my thoughts on what we're seeing recently in CSGO. You've probably heard it a million times, Matt. The fact is that most teams are doing the same thing right now. They do 2 smokes right normally towards the steps and towards jungle. We are seeing teams buy 3 smokes these days and actually focus the smoke towards CT spawn as well. I think that's North that's actually doing that right now, if memory serves correct. So they're going for 3 smokes and then focusing on the bomb site itself and not challenging towards CT spawn necessarily, clearing out the site. Any close range players find those kills, and once the smoke subsides, then go for the kills and CT spawn and stop the rotation. So that's what we're probably going to see from North here. Can mix it up. Like we said, we have seen North play Mirage twice in this tournament, so a lot of information and obviously demo review potential there for Virtus.pro. Maybe just go for a B rush. Maybe just change things up completely. That's the sort of calls I would be making as an in-game at this point, saying like they have all this information. But that's how you play yourself sometimes. Being like, oh, what do they counter us? What do they change things up to try and beat us in this big game? And why not? It's a best of one. And if you're trying to potentially take the gloves off and show you happy watching the demos, get inside their heads, do a complete counter. That's what they usually do.
Cajun has his headset off, and the admins are over his shoulder, so they'll expectedly get to work, get ready to roll. He's not in the server as far as I can see. I take that back, he is. AZ was the one that's disconnected, rejoined, but anyway, neither here nor there. We're almost underway. I also saw, by the way, Taz in front of his monitor has the hat, his legendary Taz hat.
Yes.
Is a good luck charm. He has admitted that is a good luck charm. So if he can't wear it, he's at least going to put it on the desk nearby.
Yeah, you have to have the energy near your body if it can't be on it. You know? Do you have a good luck charm?
That sounds like a out of context statement if I've ever heard one.
Well,
do I have a good luck charm? No, I used to have little rituals, I guess.
Okay, like what?
Tape in hockey, you also had to tape your right shin pad before your left, tie your right skate before your left, little things like that.
All right.
But I never had like an item that was a good luck charm. You're my good luck charm, Henry. Good things happen when you're around.
It seems to last 2 years. It's gone all right, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad.
I'm trying to think when I was a player what I had going on. I actually had this weird mindset, right? Like I was so strange when I was a player. Still strange now, of course, but maybe even more so then. If I had like a really good game, right, I wouldn't want to change any variables. Like, go to the extent I wouldn't want to go to the bathroom. I wouldn't want to change anything in my body. Like, I'd just like stay. Like, if I needed the toilet, I wouldn't go. And I thought, let's have a shit game when everyone coming up. I don't want to change anything. I would just be there. Like you said, oh, did you want to have lunch? Do you want to change food? I didn't want to change the chemical balance of my body at all. I don't want to eat food. I want to keep this mindset going. And I was like, that's super strange talking about it now, but that's like a few of us.
No,
on
it
the
makes
team
sense. Makes
kind
sense.
of like we just felt like, oh, we're in the zone right now. Don't want to change anything whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then when you like almost fall asleep through starvation of the game, you realize, well, maybe this is not the best approach. But exhausted.
Yeah. I used to have that same issue, but not due to intent. Like if we were playing tournaments as a kid in hockey, you play multiple games in a day, and I'd play like 2 games, and I just wouldn't eat. And then by like game 3, I'd be on the bench, like about to pass out, and be like, ah, damn it, I've done it again.
I'm sure everyone eats these days. No one's as strange as I was. But anyway, it looks like we are ready.
True, I can confirm.
Yeah, it looks like we are ready to get into this one. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a 2-1 game. Winner goes to the playoff. Loser goes to the 2-2 scary bracket. Round number 5. We'll have a look at the pistol buy Superman purchase for Occasion B. So not that technical approach that I discussed. North will only have 1 smoke here. That suggests maybe a B rush does come in, just completely mix things up. That could be happening right now. Major's boy, he's got the 1 smoke, and he's towards the A side of the map. So maybe he's throwing something towards A, the smoke to show some presence outside of the map. We'll see whether that's enough. His teammates are walking in towards B right now. He smokes towards jungle as his teammates get ready in B.
Shot from Neo works. That's also going to fall back. Watch the bait. Oh, they go out the window. They don't go by Taz. He lets them go. He wants the position. He's letting it happen because he's going to take the bomb carrier down. And as they turn their backs to the entrance points, Taz stays alive and lets Pasha walk into no one watching. Everyone looking the wrong direction. Magisk has to pull it back. 1 versus 3. Bomb down inside of the site. He'll work his way back toward them. So fires a shot from the Glock. No, exactly where he is. Good damage onto Snacks. But Pasha in the corner follows through the way that makes 2. It's another kill for him. That's 3 total for his round.
So like I said, North changing things up. Their demos are available. They have been focusing on that A bomb site with the smokes. This time getting the Superman purchase, meaning the Tech 9 armor. That was for Occasion B. Made his throws a smoke at jungle just to show, okay, maybe it's the same thing. Let's make it look like we're doing nothing different whatsoever. And then Taz, ready and waiting as North made their ascent towards the B bomb site. Lets them walk past. Doesn't have the most electrifying performance in terms of the shots. He gets 1 headshot there, but he buys enough time to pass, takes all that aggro away, and he can clean up. 3 kills in total for Pasha Biceps, and no bomb planted. So it will be a force buy here from North. Major's boy buying the armor. Essentially dropped some weaponry. I'm not sure what happened there. Did he die after the time?
I think so. Doesn't seem right to me.
$0 and no armor. Either way, I'm going to go towards B.
Utility goes in. Neo. Daisy back with the MP9, but Cajun's actually overwhelmed him. They've got a bomb plant this round. Pasha, he won't have easy access to this site this time and nearly doesn't even get that far. His config puts him on at 20 HP. Swap away the gun. Give the M4 to someone with health. PGL seems to be a healthy man. There's a kit on Snacks. Not that far. Aggressive peek from Cajun, considering he's against an M4. Tech 9, they want the information. Speaking of Tech 9, Magisk. Get another kill. Follow up. Bialy, good thing they gave him the M4 to work with, but it's a 1-on-1. Cajun's at the bench, and he puts Bialy to 31, but it's enough to win out the round.
Beautiful work there from Bialy. Absolutely fantastic there. The retake, it looked impossible. North had full control of the side. The Tech 9s were hitting every single shot. Majors jumping through the window as well. That incendiary, that pretty much wins the round. Right in the corner of the bomb side there. Takes out Majors, deals with him first. And the Cajun B, I think, had to do what he could with his teammate there on the corner. He went down and then towards that forest position as well. They knew exactly where he was. Good communication from Virtus.pro, giving the intel that Bialy needed. Haven't seen a huge performance from him in quite a while. That's the kill that's key. You can see MSL dancing on the flames, trying to get towards the bench in no man's land. And the final frag coming in. Bomb gets planted, but it has to be an eco here from North. P250s and 1 deagle for Magisk. As we get into round number 3 here. MP9 for Snacks and UMP for Taz. They'll be able to farm some cash going into this one. Pasha got his confidence up. He's in 4-on-1 right now. Going a little bit aggressive towards middle. We can see Snacks towards that A ramp. In front of the smoke, hoping to catch a terrorist potentially pushing through here.
The sewing machine, MP9. Just gets all the way up toward Catwalk with his deagle. Spot a CT in the top of Ticket. CT must have been holding a book because it blocked the deagle shot.
Just get what the reference you made.
Bialy. Back towards CT. Tag down to 35. Snacks gone. AZ finds the kill, so again the pistols doing damage. They're going to keep the money very honest at this rate. more. So Config takes down Neo. They're going to get another bomb plant. And they may get more. Taz, as he gets Config back, will at least gain some control. They can't go through the vents. They don't have the information. Look at the lurk coming around from a Jisk as well. He's gone all the way through to B, and he's going to wrap back through CT. If they're not quick to get out of that position, he'll be hot on their heels. It's Bialy and Taz to work together. Good shots, but not enough to take down AZ. He's on 4 HP, and it becomes problematic. This is going to be very, very hard. Both have kits. They're pinched in completely. Taz gets one. Bialy goes down, and Taz has to run. He's got to get out. This is a very well respected round from North.
Didn't really have much to work with there whatsoever. Somehow they come on top there. AZ with 2 huge frags there with that P250. No armor, P250s and 1 deagle. That's all they have, and they win the round. So the Virtus.pro was too keen to give up that A site after the first frag came in towards the lower ramp. They exploded towards the site, and then the retake just didn't happen. One by one, they went down, and like you said, decent flank towards city spawn. Taz does survive with the M4A1S. It's 4 kills in the round in total, so what's the call at this point? North weren't expecting to win that round. I think the bomb is probably about as good as they're going to get if you were to analyse at the very start. They will force into this one though, VP. Famous, scout for Pasha. That saved them for and a couple of deagles as well. They are fully invested, every dollar gone. First shot comes in. North can't land anything, but the scout certainly does. 2 shots land.
2 shots land. Snacks gets MSL though, as Taz continues to push. Cajun at the ready with the AWP. Will shut him down and leave us 3 aside. Fast from Virtus.pro. North with the 1 win. Putting the money on edge. Config getting inside of the site. Bialy had no idea. Swapped to a nade, in fact, as he walked into the open. Gives Config control of Tetris. A little bit of room in the site. Smoke under, or rather in front of Shadow. He won't be able to see if anyone's beneath. They'll chance it. Just glances at it, like around the corner. Smoke towards CT. Config sprays. He's got the bomb though, so he has to stop to be the one to plant it. Not sure what the Molotov in that position is intended to do as the smoke dissolves, but with the bomb plant down and Neo on an AK as well as a kit. Very likely they just back away from this. M4 in middle as well if Pasha can get that far and upgrade from the scout, which I think he's going to do.
Decent attempt from Virtus.pro, I have to say. That aggression towards middle, Pasha landing so much damage with the scout at the start. Finds AZ and MSL eventually, but that's pretty much all he gets. They will be saving another weapon here. It's Pasha with the M4A1S in the previous round, and Neo with the AK-47 here. So not the end of the world. Won't be able to buy in the next round. These rounds can be a little bit scary though. If they force buy again, considering they've got his weaponry, could find themselves in turmoil. We'll see what happens. 3 players arriving for North, recovering, making their way towards A after losing a couple of frags there. A bit chaotic at the start, I have to say, but it was dealt with accordingly. Occasionally saves AWP. MSL with a cheeky little famous stab as we enter round number 5. I'll have a look at the repurchases from VP. Surely they do not force into this one. It wouldn't make much sense. The AK for Neo. Patch on that M4 and nothing really purchased as of yet. A couple of P250s coming out. I think that's as good as it's going to get. They'll have a chance to win this round. Neo with the AK. I guess we'll see what he's up to. It looks like a fast A round from the north side. Smoke's coming in. More of a contact play. Maybe just want to walk and get that first pick. As soon as they find a CT, fully commit at that point.
Jin walks in. Head was showing. Didn't quite land it. Wow. Actually, comes out worse for wear. They're going to go back in with a flash. Nearly a chance for Snacks to put them all down. Excuse me, Bialy, but good shot to take out MSL. Speaking of config, leads toward A main. Neo's got good information, but they haven't fully committed to the A site, so he doesn't want to get caught pushing through CT and being a sitting duck because Majisk has gone that direction. Better position for Neo, therefore, is where he is inside the door at the apartments. If they even cross in front of him at all, he'll be ready.
Yeah, Config is trying to show some presence towards the A. You can see his teammate rotating back towards B. This could be their unraveling, though. Neo got a 6 shot at the start of the round through the AK to his teammate. He's got the famous now of the fallen MSL. If he gets 1, maybe 2 kills here, this could be so good. They are going to check the angle, but he gets the first frag. Now things get problematic. You can see Cajun B all on his back, had to use the pistol. Luckily, maybe it bails him out, but Bialy, he says no. 4 on 2 now. This could be the recovery from VP. Up to Cajun and Majors, boys. They made their way back towards the A side with 35 seconds remaining.
It's a clever call because the failed lurk and already being spotted in apartments, they're expecting a rotation back to B, which is correct, but they can afford to split up in 2-2s and take battles of doubles because they've got such an advantage. Pasha's going to go back up top of the Jungle stairway. Cajun with the 8 WP is going to find. Oh, the shoulder. Slow reactions. I thought for sure he'd at least get that kill, but Pasha's well positioned, therefore, immediately after to close the round out. VP will find their third.
Nice work from Neo, especially. I hope we get the replay of his first shot because it was beautiful. He pushed up towards short with the AK-47. That saved AK. They didn't force him to that round. The old veteran nails a nice sort of one-tap. And the cool move as well, when he did that, he drops the AK, throws it towards connector, runs up, gets the FAMAS as well. There's a quick change to give his teammate a weapon as he goes to the backstab there. Doesn't commit to go towards A, waits in the B apartment, gets that big frag there, causing lots of disruption within the North camp. VP take the lead once again. There will be another buy into this round. 4 AKs and AZ on the Tech 9. Real aggression from either side here, but Pasha now, like you said, the main orb for this side at the moment. Great angle there. MSL walks into his cross. It doesn't get much easier than that. Bomb down as well.
Bomb is down. Standing in front, or bomb doesn't really stand, but sitting in front of the boxes at the top of middle.
Yeah.
If it would stand, that'd be kind of curious. Bomb just
That could be weird.
grew some legs and ran away.
Yeah.
Didn't want to play today. Sorry, Johnny. Time to go home. AZ with the pistol. He's the only one without a full rifle on the north side.
You can get MSLs, but it's hardly easy to pick up right now. AZ currently towards the A ramp. He'll be rotating towards Palaces. I thought he'd go back and get that AK, but wants to stick on the pistol. As we have got players making their way towards connector, looking for any CT aggression, but the CT has done the hard work now. They've got the 5-on-4. All these crossfires. Snacks could get pre-fired here. He's in the open. That's a nice flashbang. Might find a frag here. All the timings and the angle he checked against him. Pasha coming to back him up.
Snacks, good find, and then immediately after he gets the information in the kill, Pasha's able to peek from window. Now he has to back off. AZ taken down by him as Magisk with the AK-47 is able to follow, but only for one so far, and there's 4 more to find. Snacks as well grabs the AWP. He's just juggling that back. There he goes. He's got it. So Virtus.pro pick up a 4th round.
Looking pretty good, I have to say. It's quite nice. Pasha's hitting some decent AWP shots, and Snacks seems to have his confidence as well to push through that connected position with flashbang with his teammates. Even when they've got the advantage as well, they could feel North encroaching towards that position, trying to get that mid-control. Flash comes over, and he doesn't overcommit. He spots him, waits for the backup from his teammate to come in as well. Pasha hits another AWP shot there. 7-3 for him. There's the matchup we've got right now. Neo versus Cajun B. Both from 4 kills. That's Cajun B with 1 more death. Looks like it has to be an eco here for North. They managed to get the bomb down and win one of these rounds previously, but I was up against, like, SMGs and no AWP here. I don't think this round will be as easy. Smoked out as Magisk, and his teammates go towards Palace. Final commitment coming in.
Shots all the way through. Snacks gets 3 on the entrance. Quick and easy spray. And he follows up to get his 4th. Good anti-eco round for Snacks. Virtus.pro now up to 5. They continue to build. Considering how sloppy it looked when they won the pistol, the next 2 rounds were all over the place. So North was able to break them down quite quickly. It's not gone that way with guns.
We're starting to stabilize here. Both teams with full weaponry here. Cajun B without the AWP. His money was only about $3,300. We're having a look at the frag charts just while we're hitting the underperformance for North. Config not far ahead there. That's the problem. 2 for 6 with Config. He's one of the star players. So very early days here. We're going to run a break. He is always one of those players that can be dangerous at any point. Very aggressive and amazing with the AK-47 especially. Great. Another default here from the Danish side. So they work towards middle. MSL probably doesn't want to walk into Pasha's cross at this time, as they do flash off and smoke correctly here. Snacks will be in the connector as usual. We're playing up on that smoke. The same flashbang comes in. It's working out quite nicely. Gets a chance of the double spray down. It's just beautiful. Pasha chiming in as well. Doesn't get much better than that. Pasha's hitting absolutely everything right now, man.
He is. He's looking very good, considering we talked about the op changes that they were looking to make on Virtus.pro for some time. He's back on it.
Yeah, looking great.
Cajun B, 28 HP to work with against 3 players. Flashes over, shot comes through with the blind of Pasha, goes back out with vision and carefully takes down North. So they go 6 rounds now. Again, money becomes a factor. They're starting to accumulate the full bonus, but no bomb plants.
No bomb plants at all, and you can see North getting a bit cagey right now. They're going towards middle, they're getting some basic control, but the timings from Virtus.pro, as soon as they hear the sound cues that they've got mid-area under control, flashing over. Snacks using that smoke just to get himself some a bit more positional control. Finds 2 blind players in front of him. Sure, they lost the first frag, but he found 2 straight away. Then Pasha with 3 AWP kills to finish things off. Another eco, no plan for North. Deagles across the board, Majors with body armor, no nades. They'll try and show presence towards A, then get in towards the B side with the bomb. But Taz Playing defensively, not giving too much away. You see him just jumping up there, dropping a smoke at a nice time as well. You're going to save that for as long as you possibly can when you're solo on this side of the map.
Solo on the other side of the map with a smoke to at least slow them down. Config is getting ever closer. Taz looks like he's thinking about peeking it as well. Not exactly in the corner like he was in the pistol round. He's very successful. Then, let's not forget, made the play that allowed Pasha to get 3 more. Spots the gun in the corner. Taz walks back out, finds Majisk. Pasha gets his head blown off. I was about to say he's going to find AZ, but beautiful shot from the Deagle. Cajun as well as a second one that forces them back down CT, but Snacks comes in. Nade was going to do the job if his M4 didn't. Dropping away, the gun will suffice. 7-2 now for Virtus.pro.
Virtus.pro, I have to say, looking like a very strong unit on the CT side. The teamwork's on point. The shots are being hit. Snacks and Pasha is carrying them through these big rounds. Neo's had a round as well with, I guess, the saved weapon of the AK-47, the M4. Very tactical and smart stuff. Not giving too much away, but they're being assertive. They're finding the frags, they're confident. And North don't really have a reply right now. It's going to be 1 kill and, as you can see, 9 deaths for MSL. He has been an in-game leader that's had his criticism in the past for his fragging ability, but he has stepped it up. This year especially, he's looked much better. But it's one of the games he's having a rough time, it seems. Get us around number 10 here. Need him to start finding some kills. Cajun will be back on the AWP. As I said, it's more worrying that Config's on 2 kills only after 9 rounds. As we enter number 10 here. No double AWP setup for Virtus.pro as of yet. Haven't had to. I think Pash is doing a wonderful job by himself. Why change things up? The M4s of Snacks and Bialy especially looking very good. Every player on the DP side's had their moments at this point.
Nades deep. Do very little damage actually. They're back far enough away.
Yeah.
Merely a flesh wound, you might say. Config's able to get Snacks. It's only a trade though. He's already found MSL beforehand. Cajun offsets it though by getting Neo, and now they'll back off, fan out. They've got the pick they're looking for. The advantage they need and require to find a 3rd round. Taz goes back up toward Catwalk. That brings Pasha over to B, and if they head that direction, they'll be able to play off of each other in a potential crossfire situation, so it's not bad positioning for Virtus.pro considering they are down a man.
Yeah, Pasha though, perfect position to shut them down here. They do walk towards being a contact style. Oh, he almost got the collateral there, doesn't get anything for it.
Wow, he was so close to both and gets done. That's incredible. He's going to slip up under the window and try and change it entirely because they know the op was somewhere in this site. Smart anticipation from Config. With 50 seconds, there's no need to even commit knowing the AWP is anywhere nearby. And therefore they will not all the way back to spawn, in fact.
They still have 3 smokes, 4 flashbangs as well. The man advantage and 40 seconds on the clock. They should be absolutely fine here. Wherever they go, they'll have the advantage. We can see one player holding towards the B apartments. That's Cajun B. He wants to get that pick. Shows presence at this stage of the round. That could force another rotation and leave them with nothing on the A side. It will probably commit at this stage. I guess he doesn't have to. He can just fall back. He doesn't have to walk into the side. 15 seconds. He's be careful here. And now if they do go towards A and that bomb goes down without a plant, a lot of trouble. Bialy still can cause damage here.
Bialy's smoke in front. Fickle plants. Won't be able to do anything of it. Bialy has to sit back and just wait for that to perish and then retake the site with his teammates. Or teammate, I should say. No plural. It's just Pasha. He's already back towards CT. Good positioning as well in all of this from Cajun B, because if they head over to B to save the weapons, he's already there. This will be Virtus.pro backing off in the 3rd round north, a desperately needed 3rd round. But they want to stick around, and rightfully so, because they can do economic damage. They won't achieve any of it. 4 guns staying alive for North is substantial and significant.
Absolutely is. It's much better for North. This time, the mid-control working in their favour, having a bit more firepower this time with the AWP, managing to challenge that connector position where Snacks had the rifle this time. That, to me, suggests he goes to the double AWP now. That would make a lot of sense, to me at least. You see, that's where he just got shut down. He's been using the M4, wanting to go aggressive in that position. The AWP's against it, though, with a single AWP set up for now. They've got a ton of money to work with. Here's Cajun B on that B bomb site. One of the key frags down as his teammates go towards A. Not too happy about it, it seems, but 7-3 is the overall scoreline in favour of Virtus.pro on the CT side here at Mirage. Winner does go through to the playoffs of this map. Lose up goes to the 5th round, the scariest round you can possibly be in a do or die time at that point.
Smoke inside of the Palace position, and AZ and Cajun are on the other side of it. They want to go because Config, he takes down Bialy. That allows them to go through the smoke. They can push it comfortably. Neo, meanwhile, back to mid. Knows he's got company in MSL. It's all tasks and all hands on deck. Everyone is starting to get their role aligned for North.
It's looking much better now. That's great. They've been focusing so heavily on mid. A fast A execution off the bat. They're walking in. North controlling the situation, dictating the pace as well. It's Bialy that's close towards the A ramp. He's been comfortable in that position so far. Hasn't been kind of challenge early on. He gets taken down. That's their cue to fully commit as well. Dropping the smoke. The flashbangs come in. Everyone's starting to hit shots now. And Marcel finds a key frag. Config, he gets 2. That's the biggest headline here, that he's starting to get warmed up now. And hitting those AK shots. That's what we need from the star player of the North side. 7-4 will be the score, but like I said, Virtus.pro still have residual cash here, especially with Taz saving his weapon as well. 10k on Pasha, 6k for Taz as well, so they're okay, but North starting to make a game out of this one. Back and forth at the beginning, but the gun rounds have heavily favoured VP, and now it's 2 in a row for the Danish side. Here we go then. Chance to adjust. $11,000 for Pasha. Certainly he'll be back on the door. He's dropped off in the last few rounds. He's on 11 frags quite early on. Hasn't been high fragging as much as he did in the earlier stages, but a pause for Virtus.pro, just a chance to work out what's the play here, what's being shut down. MSL is one of those in-game leaders very good at changing the pace of the game. He knows how to show trends and certain nuances towards a particular side of the map. Then, next round, completely change it up. Just as Virtus.pro get comfortable with it and seem like they know what's coming every single round in terms of the defaults, Cobblestone especially is very good at just sending 5 players up middle at the perfect time, the perfect round where they won't expect it. And this time, straight towards A. Basic execution, walking up that ramp, finding the kills. Config MSL opening things up. This is Pasha taken down by Cajun B at the Palace position.
Good opening from Config on the aggression. So 2 in a row for North. They look much better than they did at the start, let's be honest.
Yeah. It's all starting to come together now. Round number 12. 7-4 is the overall scoreline now. Probably the final buy for VP. We'll see if they can hold on here.
MSL already round top mid. Has vision and eyes toward Pasha in the connector, who gets pinched into the corner and can't find the shot on the op. Down to Config. Snacks will pull it back, and although they don't have full control of mid, there's not really that much in it for Config until he hits Snacks. Now they can get the bomb back in their hands and start to work toward B, but be careful of that bomb down. Yeah, good idea, Config, to grab that again, especially with a player lurking inside the window, looming on the other side. Neo's going to rotate back, though. 2-man advantage, and as he gets toward A, it's basically a split. They need to get together, and that's why I think the rotation is going to go towards CT from Taz. Work as a unit rather than individuals. Taz will start, but he's not sure if they're in the window anymore or not. And then decides actually to stay over toward B.
And his faster pace seems to be paying off tremendously here for North. Then his opening frag of 4-on-2. Keep it simple, stick together, refrag. You know there's probably only going to be one player here, if that, towards the A site. It gives too much away. Still got flashbangs to work with here. Molotov to key position. CT spawn and shadow. And Bialy has left the game, but that's fine for now. I think he was already dead. So it's Neo and Taz who are holding towards middle on a B bomb site. Not really much you can do about this. I think they just save the weapons as soon as this bomb gets planted.
Don't be confused. It's not a 3 versus 3. It's a 4 versus 2. The way that this HUD works, they're basically funneled in. Yeah, there we go. He's back. Funneled in 1 to 10, and therefore if someone in the 1 to 5 region disconnects, the other team looks like they switch over. But you were right. Bialy was already dead, so no harm, no foul. Bomb plant in. Smart choice to save for Virtus.pro. But we get back to just 2 rounds between them after Virtus.pro looking like they were walking away with it.
Yes, it's much better from North. They've realised the slow defaults weren't really working out for them, getting picked off 1 by 1. Faster pace gameplay. MSL challenging Pash at the very start. They are losing a few frags here. Neo should be taken down eventually. There it is. Config finds him. That's the final kill. I did say North win that round. That should be the end of the Virtus.pro money. They had a lot of it, I have to say. He did have 3 or 4 rounds of losses where they could continue to buy. 3 in a row now. The bomb's gone off every single time. Virtus.pro timeout once again. They still have 6k on Taz. 4 on Snacks. It's the other 3 that are struggling. Bialy, Neo at the 3k mark. Similar story for Pasha as well. 3,500. So there is option to buy that. You could drop an AWP over and get out UMPs and FAMASs and try and build your defense around that AWP. But it has to be a very powerful, aggressive AWP. Maybe go towards Palace, get that first pick, and the AWP comes out. It's happening. So here we go. An exciting round potentially here as we go into number 13. They won't be fully committing, which is interesting. So they've gone for that AWP, which balances the money out in terms of Pasha. He was about 6k, right? But now his teammates, he's at the same sort of level pegging with them. So what's the play here? Try and get him towards Palace or towards middle, get the couple of kills, and then win the round of the PT50s. If they lose it, he's still at the same money as his teammates, so a bit of a gamble in that respect, but something that could work out for you. You just need a few opening kills, and that could be the difference. But he's in CT spawn. He knows he's been helping themselves towards the A-bomb site so far, just walking in. Now Krieg's back out for Magisk. He wants this to be a thing. Never seen a kill with it, I have to say. I've cast him dozens of times, and he's pulled it out. Never really seems to have any sort of impact. On paper, it sounds like a fantastic weapon. It should be used more. But it just doesn't seem to really run true in the big games.
Config starts to go into the underpass. Didn't really think that one through in advance. Snacks waits to see if they'll get closer. Cajun gets tagged. Lagged by Pasha. Will then back off of connector. Damage done. And rotate away. Good find from Config. Flashed off in middle. Goes back out for Neo. There's a gap in the smoke, but Neo can't collect. Actually, it clips the wall with his own smoke, but he'll stay in the corner. 2 men down at Virtus.pro. If they come back to win this half, I will be very, very impressed.
Oh, for sure.
We've got it again, Magisk. As you said on Train in the opening day, no one ever gets a kill with it. You keep hearing about it, this guy in particular. We'll see if he can finally do it. Pasha shuts down easy. Magisk got one. You can't forget that one, Henry. Got it with the Krieg. Config will collect Bialy.
Yeah, gets 2 frags with it, up against those pistols on the AWP. Doesn't need too much Virtus.pro. Still have money to buy into this round. It was just balancing the wealth of the team. It was one player with a lot more than everyone else. Went for a bit of a gamble with that all purchase. But generally speaking, have a lot more than everyone else. Went for a bit of a gamble with that all purchase. But generally speaking, that was always going to happen unless someone went absolutely wild at the AWP. Didn't happen. Pasha and City Spawn can't find much. And we go into round number 14. Double AWP setup does come out. I was expecting it eventually. It's very prolific on a map like Mirage. It's going to be Snacks and Pasha. Snacks definitely well versed with the AWP. He heads towards B this time. Pasha, I was calling for this earlier. There. Faster mid-play coming in now. MSL beneath the window. Teammates in the form of Config watching the connector. Can they find the first pick? But it's Pasha. Aggression towards Palace works out for him. 5 on 4 finally for Virtus.pro.
Jump up. On the fence. Get ready to go toward the window. MSL's actually gotten boosted in while he was being watched from the fence, so not going to jump through necessarily. Neo's got to be very careful with 23 HP. Krieg scope. Clicking in and out. Pasha's not going to peek it. High left. We know there's another there. Baited. Potentially. Ooh, Config saves it though. Magisk still alive. Looks like he's playing PUBG. Pasha takes back Magisk. If there were, Neo would definitely need some energy drinks right now. Try and heal up, but Config's got such good position. Pasha's read it. MSL from the slow play of North. Remember, you said the fast pace was favoring them. Not going to get much in this round as AZ does at least get one back. He's got to be very quick on how he chooses to deal with Bialy. He won't be able to find him. And it means that Virtus.pro at least win the half at 8-6.
They will indeed, and Pasha with the 4K once again with the AWP was lighting them up in the earlier stages and manages to do the same in round number 14. They do win the half, it's 8-6. After getting that fast mid-control there, North definitely slowed it right down and getting torn apart there. We saw decent connect control coming in from them. But Pasha, this initial pick was great. I love the fact he got towards Palace. We talked about it to an extent earlier in the tournament, the fact why devices ran such a good AWP on the CT side because he moves around. We need to see more of that from Pasha to surprise him and get those opening picks. He hasn't been towards Palace yet. Gets that first kill. When they come back towards A, hits even more. Very nice stuff. It's the final round. And Pasha, once again, that easy shot. They seem to keep giving him that one. And they cross over towards middle. Twice now he's had that on a plate. And it's going to be a 5 on 4 now. He takes a lot of damage. We're expecting him to be there, but he gets away with it.
Smoke lands, but just gets closer inside of the apartments. So he gets away with it. Gets away with the kill as well. Smoke to land in front of the jungle. Real pressure applied though from North to try and take middle. Now that they've pushed the CTs back, or at least gotten some utility in position, they'll start to go now. With Bomb, MSL, he's the closest to the entry point. That could be disastrous. He gets found immediately, or not. So, ready for the quick switch so he can put it inside of the window after the smoke's gone. Good find from Snacks though to get Cajun B. MSL, he will drop the bomb inside of Connector. They need kills immediately from AZ, but he's already down. Just Biaoi's waiting immediately inside of the smoke on the A site. Last player remaining is Magisk, and that's the half done. Found by Snacks, 9-6 for Virtus.pro.
Yeah, after winning the pistol as well, it was North to get back into the game with pretty much full eco, P250s and a Deagle. Blunder from Virtus.pro to give that sort of round away, but once the gun rounds began, they got a spell of 5. They're looking incredibly sharp, especially Pash on the AWP as well. Bialy with some huge rounds, and Neo as well with intelligent plays to win them key rounds as we went into the game. But then North adjusted. They managed to pick up the pace, managed to realize that, okay, if we start as walking in contact plays, faster plays towards middle, we can actually get the frags in our favor, and they started to run away with the game. But Virtus.pro turning it around towards the end, 2 rounds, managed to win the half, and then we'll be 9-6. So still anyone's game by some margin. We'll see whether they can win the pistol in North to tie things up. That'd be great. So Virtus.pro to swap over to the T side, of course. They get 1 smoke, 2 flashbangs. So that pistol meta I described earlier on this map doesn't seem to be coming in at all. They head towards B as well. There'll be 1 player that heads towards the A side. That's going to be Bialy with a decoy and armor. Much utility to work with that. Maybe he tries to find the first pick as his teammates get ready to go towards B. Defending that site is Mage's boy. So it'll be Bialy with a decoy and armor. Much utility to work with that. Maybe he tries to find the first pick as his teammates get ready to go towards B. Defending that